I look at my kids who are all in their mid-20s and, entering into their professional lives or finishing up their academic lives and thinking about their futures. And I look at my organization and we're trying to bring in younger, more leaders from more diverse backgrounds. And we're trying to sort of create this exciting future that attracts people, yet the whole environment is premised on uncertainty and lack of clarity as to what the future is. And there's a high degree of concern. I mean, I look at my own kids. I think they sort of, this anxiety around the future, politically, financially, economically, socially, everything is disruption and disorder. And here we are as older, senior leaders having to bring in new leaders into our organization and create an environment where they feel excited and energized to drive change, when I think a whole bunch of factors and circumstances around them are fighting against that. Today, you can't even bring them into the work environment. It's all being done virtually. So how do you create that sense of belonging, that sense of culture? How do you impart what it means to be a leader at Canadian Blood Services when all I'm doing is talking to folk on the other side of a 2D monitor? I think it's really difficult. And yet we're trying to say it's an exciting, dynamic future. Come join us because you can shape a degree of change that can have meaning for patients who depend on our products and services for years to come. So I think on the one hand, I really do believe it's an exciting future. I really do believe, despite all of the disruptions in society now, despite all of the socio-economic and political signals that are not fun, they're challenging. I think it is still an exciting time for organizations to drive change and an exciting time for leaders to sign up for that change. But I think that you can't just assume that. I think you have to be explicit and deliberate. As the older leader nearing a different stage in his career, I've got to be very purposeful, very deliberate in taking time with younger leaders, having these conversations, listening to their concerns and their anxieties, giving them credence and credibility, and yet trying to motivate and energize these younger leaders to the future. So I think it's going to be challenging. I think it's going to be fascinating, because if I can impart energy and enthusiasm and motivation to these younger leaders to drive a future that will be more resilient, that will be more robust and more able to withstand the shocks that we're facing now, that's going to be fascinating to watch from my rocking chair in decades to come. I'm motivated by doing that. I think it's going to be exciting to cultivate a talent and a pipeline of younger leaders, but I think they're going to bring with them some important anxietal issues that are driven by, in their 20s, look what they're looking at and saying, you left us a goddamn mess. And now you're saying, come fix it and shape the future. Thanks very much. One's got to actually give credence to that. I think one's got to listen to that and then hopefully motivate them to pick up from where we're leaving our organizations and our institutions and saying, you guys can do better than us. And the future is exciting. I think the future is incredibly exciting, even though it's going to be of a very different nature, human contact, different nature, technology, a different nature, opportunity of a different nature. It's going to be fun, but it's not going to be easy.